your local library, you will have access to a comfort kit, which contains lots of different sensory tools that you can try with your child, or if you're a teenager or a young adult, you can try yourself to support your sensory needs, or maybe to support your focus and your concentration while you're doing your homework or your study. So the ear defenders, they come in two different sizes. One size is for children, the other one is for adults. These can be really helpful if you become distracted or you're trying to focus and concentrate to study in the library, but it's very busy or it's noisy. Or it can be really helpful to trial with your child if you have seen that they might have auditory sensitivities in other environments. So maybe they become very stressed when you're in places that are busy or loud. So you really want to try something with them to see, would it help support them in other environments? So it's very important when you're introducing ear defenders to a child that you actually model for them initially you putting them on so that they know that it's safe. Maybe you want to turn it into a little bit of a game with them so that you're not placing it straight onto their head. They're part of the process, and that's very important. Also explaining why they're using them. So how ear defenders work is when you put them over your ears, it applies a pressure, but it also drains out a lot of background noise. So this can be really supportive for a child who maybe wants to decompress after a busy day in school and is quite overwhelmed when there's lots of sounds going on. These mightn't even just be loud sounds. These could be sounds that are going on in the library, moving chairs, people getting books, people moving around and chatting. So you can definitely trial these with your child, maybe while they look through a library book or they do their homework. And this will give you a really good idea whether or not this might be a supportive tool for at home or at school as well. You also will see a weighted lap pad. A lot of the weighted lap pads that are available in the library come in 2 kg. So this would be appropriate for older children, teens and young adults. It's a really nice tool to use when you're studying or you are trying to focus on your homework, or maybe you're coming into the library just to decompress from the day as well. How it works is when you open up the weighted lap pad, you can lie it on your lap so that it applies a calming deep pressure. This can have a really nice regulating effect on our nervous system, but it's something that you need to try to see, does this work for me? Is this something that I could actually use maybe when I'm at home or when I'm at school as well? So this is definitely something that if you're using this with your child, you want to do it with supervision, just to see how they're reacting. Are they comfortable? Is this something maybe that you could use when they're sitting down at homework and they're really fidgeting and moving around a lot? It can be really supportive because it gives that lovely deep pressure on our legs. You'll also see that there are tinted sunglasses. This can be helpful for a child who maybe becomes very distracted or distressed in places where there's a huge amount of natural light or a lot of fluorescent lighting. So you might find that your child is squinting, maybe they're getting headaches, or maybe they actually just prefer a darker lens on the glasses. This is something that you can trial with them. Sometimes with sensory tools, you just need to trial, get feedback if you can from your child, whether they like it or they don't like it, and then you can actually come up together around when you might be able to use it, when it might be supportive for them. You also have a fidget available in your comfort kit. Fidgets are a great way to get a lot of tactile feedback. So these can be helpful for children, for teens, for young adults who might need to fidget when they're studying, when they're concentrating, or maybe their hands just need to move and touch things to be able to focus on what you're doing. So maybe you're reading them a library book and you feel that they just need that extra little bit of input. These are safe for children to squeeze and to pull on as long as they're not putting it into their mouth. So they might be too young if they're not sure how to use it appropriately, but fidgets are a lovely tool and they come in so many different shapes and sizes. So it's nice to trial one in the library and see, does my child even enjoy using this? Or if you're a teenager or a young adult, is this something that I could maybe use in school or at home when I'm studying and I'm trying to concentrate? Or something that I use just to kind of decompress and reduce stress and help me to feel relaxed and calm. You'll also see a little pack of bubbles. Bubbles are a great way for some kids to get engaged. Maybe a child loves bubbles to feel relaxed. This can be a great thing to pull on, or ask the librarian if you feel like your child is becoming overwhelmed in the library and you just need to pull on something that's familiar, that they know, that you can have that lovely playful interactions. And sometimes it can also have a calming effect on kids as well. In some of the comfort kits, there will be some oral motor tools. We call these chewies. They come in different shapes and sizes. So chewy tubes or any kind of oral motor tools can obviously only be used by one child. So it's nice that they're in the comfort kit, because if they've been recommended to you for your child from an occupational therapist or a speech and language therapist, you can see how they look, how they feel in the library. But it's important, as they come in different strengths, that you consult your OT or SLT so you understand what strength is actually appropriate for your child and what would be safe for them to use at home. We would usually use oral motor tools like this to develop chewing skills or to support a child's sensory preference for chewing and getting that input to regulate themselves. So things you might observe is your child is chewing on their uniform, maybe they're chewing on lots of different toys, and you feel they're really seeking that extra input that they need. Then it is really worth consulting an OT so they can give you support around other tools you can use, and they can start to help you understand why your child might be chewing and what that might communicate to you. So that's an overview of the comfort kits. There's loads of lovely tools within it. Every child is so individual. Every person's sensory needs are individual. So it's very important that you trial different things. You use them during different activities to see how they might suit your sensory needs or your child's sensory needs, and if they might be beneficial.